11.4?
Oh yeah, that's rough. It's like borderline, you might not be able to drive home at this point.
Do you need to do the wood with this one?
Oh, you already. Yep, cool.
What is going on, guys? We have an exciting video. We are bringing the GT350R back to life. We got Zach with us here. Now, we do have a clutch for this thing, and we got a little disclaimer, I guess. I mean, yeah, so we went with the Mantic, but similar to how we did in the Camaro, we went with the rebuilt option. It's just more cost effective, and generally, Jeff will rebuild these with pretty quality parts. We might have to censor this because the faceplate on this has seen better days. Not safe for work, but you can see the flywheel. Let me see if I can pick it up. Flywheel's been resurfaced. Side of it looks incredible, you know, but then you get catfished. Bam. Yeah, I'm not too sure why we ended up with that kind of pressure plate.
$26.95 for the pressure plate, Jeff. Cheaping out on us, dog.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna be throwing this thing in. We got a brand new slave cylinder right here. We also have a set of flywheel bolts. We got a shim and some lock washers. We got our Ford OEM flywheel bolts, which are specific to GT350. And there actually isn't an ARP part number that directly bolts to this. I actually looked around for quite a while. These are special because Voodoo makes some special vibrations and stuff like that. So in the GT350s and 350Rs, they actually have a Tremec 3160, which is specific to only the GT350 and 350R. They also have very specific clutches, and in fact, the pilot bearing is actually in the flywheel, which is pretty interesting. Did you know that?
LS boys just got her right there in the block.
Or the crank.
That too.
Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and get started and hopefully get this thing rolling tonight.
That's the plan.
smell of clutch has revealed itself. How's she looking?
Pretty good.
Bet them discs are not happy.
Nope.
Nope.
Nothing to it but to get to it.
Alright.
There we go. Alright.
Comes. Woo! She toasty.
A little bit.
It is a twin disc, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I thought. What you think? Yeah, pretty much it just glazed right over, dude. Didn't want to function anymore. There she is.
A little toasty.
Yeah. All right. So.
Yeah, you can see it's basically all gone.
Yeah. There's just nothing to grip anymore.
Nope.
It was driving like an automatic, dude.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. This actually looks like the Mantic, like, you know, the sliding
guides,
things.
yep.
Yeah.
But this is all one piece, which is crazy.
And notice the pilot bearings in the flywheel too.
Yeah. Nuts.
So we pretty much just overpowered the clutch. Ashley stayed in it to 5th gear, bro. Yes, clutch. Oh, come on, lift, come on. Okay, she stopped. So.
Throw the Mantic up here.
Yeah.
All right, old clutch is out. We're just gonna wipe down this surface with some brake cleaner before we install the Mantic clutch. All right, so the surface is all clean. Andrew is over here taking the clutch apart, because how you install these Mantic clutches is you have to, well, really any twin disc, you have to disassemble it, place the flywheel on, and then assemble it in the opposite order that you took it apart. All right, all the nuts are off. Now we're gonna take the faceplate off. Take the faceplate off, then you have an intermediate disc, or intermediate plate, I guess. It's important to take note of the orientation as you're taking them apart. Last thing you want to do is put them in the wrong direction. You're gonna have a bad time. So we're gonna put the flywheel on first, and then we're just gonna clean the surfaces as we put each layer of the clutch on.
All right, so we got the flywheel. Everything is pretty much ready to go. So we have the spacers right here. The bolts slide through and they lock in the groove in the back. So those need to be on prior to putting the flywheel up. We got the pilot bearing, which stays in there just like the factory one. And we got a set of brand new flywheel bolts that we're gonna be using here. Because the Voodoo has a lot of vibration, we have to use brand new bolts, and I think for the most part, brand new bolts are a good idea anyways.
And red Loctite. So we're gonna use red Loctite because that's what the GT350R calls for. Other clutches, like if you guys paid attention when we did mine, we use blue Loctite. Most of the time you're only gonna use red Loctite for permanent applications, but like Andrew mentioned, the flat plane tends to cause vibration, so you actually have to use red Loctite. Or Mantic calls for 272 if you're into the numbered Loctite. Worth noting, like Andrew mentioned, these spacers, you'll notice that each intermediate plate has a groove. You want to make sure you line those up. And also you'll notice that this is completely rebuildable. So you can change the surface plate for the flywheel. So if you're in the market, we are an authorized dealer for Mantic, whether you want a new one or you want to save some money on a rebuilt one. reach out to us on Instagram or through the website. Get this sucker on.
Alright, so after Googling quite a bit, we got stage 1, 89 inch-pounds, stage 2, 177 inch-pounds, and final is right about 60 foot-pounds or 59. So that is for the flywheel bolts. Got our brand new ones right there. We're gonna load them with some Loctite too, since GT350 got some vibrations. The Loctite.
Yeah, don't have to do crazy amount, less is more.
Alright, and as always, clean off the surface with a little brake cleaner.
Yeah, buddy.
I think we're ready to start sliding on the discs. We got a clutch alignment tool as well. Alright, Mr. Zach.
Here we go.
It says
flywheel
side on it. So, go ahead and stick that bad girl up there.
Yeah, buddy. And then repeat the cleaning process.
Yep. Zach, how many Mantics have we done?
I want to say this is like our 4th.
Yeah. Done a few.
Yeah, buddy. Not much contaminants, but we want it to be clean.
Alright, so we got our ugly pressure plate we're gonna install up in there.
Yep. Space plate has seen better days for sure. Alright, so I'm just gonna do like 1 bolt.
Alright, so alignment tool is in. That's going to go all the way into the pilot bearing. Make sure everything's centered and the bolt and disc are aligned. And we're going to go ahead and torque each of these bolts. We put a washer and a lock washer on it and some red Loctite. And then these all get torqued to 25 foot-pounds.
There we go.
Alright, so all the bolts are now torqued, and now we're going to measure for our slave cylinder, make sure that we have the right shim to get this thing working right. Alright, so we're going to measure for the slave cylinder. We got a straight edge. We just measured the thickness of that so we can subtract it out. And now we're going to check the measurement from the bell housing to the slave cylinder there. So 3.2935. Yep, 3.2935. So 3.2935. So we're going to do from 0. So this one's pretty easy. It's just from basically the pressure plate to there. We just need to get a nice flat. It's just kind of a problem. We're flat now, right?
Yep.
.5360. Let's try another one. .6190. .5015. 5015. Yeah, that should be good.
5015.
So our next measurement is from pressure plate to the block.
There you go.
4.2530. Yeah, 4.2515. That should be good. All right, so we took all our measurements. The sheet that's included kind of lays out what everything is, and with a little formula. Basically, you're just finding out from the clutch disc to the engine block, you subtract those two values that we took. So from the flat to the fingers, and then the pressure plate to the engine block, you subtract those values and you get your compression value. So that's your, I guess what we call in here D value. And then we take our other value that we took on the bell housing, which is with the flat, and then to the slave bearing. And then we subtract the value that we just got, the D value, minus the value from the slave cylinder, and that gets us our compression value, or our preload, which in our case we got 0.5465, and according to the instructions that's perfect preload, because it wants it to be 0.500 to 0.625, and this is in inches. We're good to go ahead and put it in together. This is with the included, I believe it's a 1/2 inch shim. We did not have bolts that were included, but luckily we had some that fit. So if you're doing this yourself, make sure you have some bolts that are the length for the shim and the slave cylinder to get enough thread engagement.
So here you can see the new throw-out bearing. You might be able to see the spacer in there. And our new bolts.
All right, and I think we are now ready to load the transmission into the car. I think we'll just need to watch those transmission lines on the right. Yeah. All right, time for the drive shaft. All right, so pretty much got everything wrapped up. We just got to put the shifter back together inside.
I'm on like pump number 357.
Yep.
No exaggeration. Probably about 100 that we did by hand before it started getting any pressure at all.
It should be ready to fire pretty soon.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
All right, I think it's time. Yep. Give her a shift. Everything feels smooth? I think we're good. Hell yeah, brother. Alright guys, so I think that's going to wrap it up on the clutch install on the GT350R. Huge thanks to Zach for helping us out getting this thing installed, and we're ready to drive it. The camera is going to die. I will just make a first drive video tomorrow when we go drive it. We got to do one fix on the exhaust. There's some weird stuff going there, so we'll get it fixed. We got 500 miles of break-in, so no romping it at all, but just some nice smooth driving. If you guys need a clutch or any performance part, MustangLifestyle.net. We also have a coupon code YouTube that you can use there as well. And if you want to pick up a Mustang Lifestyle shirt, there's a link down in the description. Look forward, we're actually taking a trip with this car here pretty soon. It'll be pretty fun, and make sure you look forward to that. Comment down below. We'll see you guys.